Hi, my name is Teddy Surratt. I've been asked to offer a video for a friend of mine's friend's project regarding LGBTQ people and the stigmatization that they face working within the healthcare system. Um, so it's a little bit of a background for me. I do identify as a two-spirited gay male in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and I'm a community advocate when I can be, and during the day I am a resource and information specialist at an employment service center here in Sault Ste. Marie. My own experiences with oppressive or positive experiences or stigmatization within the healthcare system, I would say would be very minimal. My grandmother was part of the hospital for a long period of time, so I spent a lot of times within the hospital as a kid and as a youth. Also, not having the best health myself growing up as a kid. I was in and out of the hospital, but I think it was until I was older on, until I was 12 years old, when I realized I was gay. I came out when I was about 12 or 13, but I never really had any kind of problems with the healthcare system in particular. My family doctor was aware that I'm LGBTQ, that I do identify as being a gay male. And he was okay with it. He asked me if I needed any kind of assistance. He wasn't even too sure if there was any other kind of assistance here in the Sioux, but he did help me. He was okay with my sexuality. I think the one aspect where I did face, it felt like stigmatization. I felt like I was being stereotyped. Was anytime I had to go get a blood test done or get screened for any HIV or sexual infections. As a young male, and I do have an active sex life, so I know that going to like blood labs and clinics to get blood work and being grilled about asking the questions about if you're involved with sexual what your sexual activities are, what you engage yourself into, whether it's oral sex, anal sex, penetration. I know they've asked questions about toys. Do you use toys? Do I use toys on other people? And it's almost as if it's a very invasive process for anybody to go through. Did I ever feel like I was being judged because I was a gay man? And I'm like, I don't think I ever felt that way. I think for some of the people that were doing their jobs, why they thought so otherwise, totally up to them. But I know that for other people, when it comes to, like, especially with health and LGBTQ people, there is a strong source of there's proof to be told about LGBTQ communities and having mental health illnesses and high risk for mental health illnesses and the uses of substance abuse as well, and not to mention poverty. Combined with that for LGBTQ youth in particular, we see high numbers of homeless youth, and I think they reach a lot of oppressive and stigmatization happenings within their life, especially in bigger urban centers. And I think with people, even in rural areas where a lot of people aren't familiar with LGBTQ communities and what the topics and the issues are at hand. So I would like to think that the healthcare system has gotten a lot better. I know Sault Ste. Marie has got a lot better since the past 10 years. Since I was 18, it's become really progressive within this programming and the acknowledgement and the awareness of LGBTQ people within the community of Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. I think it can only get better, and I know that with people like me and people like so many other people that are involved with the LGBTQ community and are allies, and then who are involved with like queer straight alliances, gay straight alliances, P-Flag chapters, familiar with EGAL and student leadership for LGBTQ people. I think it's great. I think there needs to be more of it done, and I think more people should have more of these kind of conversations when items of homophobia or transphobia are brought up in the news and the media. I think people should really talk to them and stop having the conversations online, but having those conversations face to face within the community on tabletop discussions and just bringing the matters up front and saying, okay, how can we assist these people that do face certain forms of oppression, and sometimes on a regular basis, and sometimes on a daily basis, depending on who you are and what your situation is. On that, I think, thank you for your time, and thank you for bringing me about this. And I just got a message from Kyle said a message about talk about Sears. I used to work at Sears Canada, and many moons back, probably when I was like 21, 22, and just recently last year I went to a drag competition here in Sault Ste. Marie, and it was called the Lock City Drag Race, and I decided, yeah, I'll do it. It'll be fun. It was like something that I wanted to do for a while, so I did it, and I needed to go buy a bra, and I needed to go buy Spanx to make sure that everything was kept where it needed to be. And when I did it, it was basically, I went to Sears, and I was like, okay, I'm familiar with the people here. I know that they have plus sizes, and that I could probably use a plus size for myself, just saying. And I did, and then this woman was helping me out, and I was like, okay, what? And I ended up borrowing a friend's prosthetics, who identifies as trans, and she had these prosthetics for her breasts, and I was like, okay, can I borrow them? She said yes. So I brought them to the store, and I said, hi, can you, I was like, I need to come in, I forgot my prosthetics, I need to get a bra, and I need to buy a Spanx for the show that I'm doing. I'll be in tomorrow. I don't know if you need to just like tell everybody, just so like it's not uncomfortable for other people, because I can understand that. And like, even though that I'm putting it out there, and it says I'm not a I'm not a trans person. I don't identify as being trans, and I don't do drag for a living. I just like, I wanted to do this aspect of it, just for the fun of it, and just say, yeah, I did it. So I did it. So I went to the next day with the prosthetics to Sears. There was a woman there, very helpful, very nice. She's like, okay, let me see what we can get you. And she was asking me about like what the costume was for, and what the event was for, and how long it's been going on. She was really interested. She was really engaging. It was really nice. It was really a good customer service that she was providing. However, after I went to go check on I tried on the bra and I tried on the Spanx. And first of all, they told me that I had to go to the men's dressing room, which was on the opposite side of the store. So I had to carry a bra and Spanx to the opposite side of the store and try it on. Now, for me, as a person who is not a drag queen or not identify as trans or intersexed, I know that it could probably be very debatable on like even if that was appropriate. Again, I was trying to get in there just for certain products. Didn't think anything of it until like later on. When I got back, there was another woman at the counter who I had actually worked with at Sears, and she wanted to know what I was doing, what I was up. And it was like, oh well, I'm just buying a bra, because it was a very comfortable situation. I had a friend with me the night before. This time I didn't have a friend, so it was kind of different. I was like, okay, I kind of need that kind of support. I need to make this kind of purchase, and let's just get it done. So, and the one woman, the older woman, who I just met at the counter when I came back after trying on the bra and the Spanx, was very engaged, was very, very negative with her attitude toward why I was doing it, and was it a farce, was it a joke? And I was like, well, it's not a joke. I was like, I need this for a show. So I do theater within the community for over 10 years now, so I know that when you need something, you need to go out and get it. And it costs a lot of money. It cost me about $70 or $80, and I still bought it. But during the process of it, she asked me, she looked at me and she asked, she's like, and your mother is allowing you to do this? And I was so upset and so angry. I looked at her and I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I have a lot of support from the community, including my mom. Thank you. And went back with my business and tried to talk with the other service provider, and this woman kept on asking me, and I don't even think she caught what she said was wrong. And I was very hurt, and I remember going home and I texted my mom and told her I loved her, and then I just started crying because I was so really hurt, and I was thinking that maybe this is something that other people should be aware of. And I was like, what if I'm not trans, but what if somebody was trans, wanted to do that, who wanted to make these purchases just for everyday living? And are they faced with that kind of stigma? Are they faced with that kind of oppression and blatant ignorance? And so I wrote a letter. So I called the store and I wrote a letter to Sears Canada, and they sent me another. And then they referred me back to the store, and I talked to the store manager about. I was like, there should be some kind of programming and set for like training, for like diversity training. And she's mentioned that I shouldn't have to worry about it, that it's not a big issue, that they did do service training for people who with disabilities back in August, and I told them, I was like, well, LGBTQ people may or may not have disabilities. We're not all disabled. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm